Alright, so today I'm going to be showing y'all how I reset a Bridger foothold trap. So we got a chain right there, so we want to dig our box in this area. Want to make sure you get the dirt where the trap's going to sit really compact, that way it can't shift or sink. Get all the dirt and everything off of the trap, that way it's easier to engage. Push these two levers down the side. I like to use my knee, get that lever down. Use my knee to get that lever down. I hold my knee on this, that way it can't pop up on me. With my hands like that. Get this little lever, and on the Bridgers they have this little knob. You have to get that on the other side of the knob, so you push it down, bring your pan up, and it's engaged. So now I like to kind of dig a little trench for my chain. I'll cover it up a little bit better once I get this thing set down. Alright, so you kind of want to dig it in the mud, not a little bit. You don't want to get too much mud underneath that pan, because then that'll get in the way of it going off. So now you want to pack dirt around the trap. That way it doesn't shift. That's another thing that helps it keep from shifting whenever something stays on it. You want your dirt to be about level with this part of the trap. That way it provides a lot of protection from it shifting. Test to make sure it doesn't have too much shift to it. If it does, add more. That I feel like it's good enough. Now, there's a few different things you can use to cover your trap to make sure the least amount of dirt goes under it. I prefer toilet paper. They make these things you can put under them. They're like almost like a fiberglass material. They've got holes in them, and they'll pop out before the trap goes off. But if your pan's a little higher, it'll take more dirt to cover, and it can be harder to get an even set. So you want to put that on, sprinkle a little bit of dirt to keep it in place before you get your sifter. Get your sifter. You want to get some dirt from the area. You want to try and have it dry, but if it's not dry, it's not the end of the world. It just can't be soaking wet. You sift it over your trap. Wet, so I get some drier stuff. You just kind of go until you feel it's good enough. Then I like to use just one of the stakes to level it out. I like to kind of pack it down a little bit. And then I put a nice little layer over it, the way it looks somewhat natural. Alright, now pan's about right there, so you're going to want to try and get a hole about right there. You want to try and get it at a 45-degree angle, close to it. Doesn't have to be perfect 45. You don't want it too deep, or else that bait will fall down into it. using on this trap? Rusty Johnson's Lucky Predator Paste Bait. So I like to have it set out, and then I cover, kind of pack up some dirt around the edges of my trap. And I like to bait up after this, because if any dirt falls down in the hole, it'll cover up your bait, and it'll make it harder for the foxes to be able to smell it. They'll still be able to smell it, but they'll have to be closer to the area of the set. Kind of get a little dirt. Alright, and then you want to get something a little bit, you don't want to just have a mound of dirt, so I like to try and get whatever's in the area. You don't want to get like sticks if you're in the middle of a field. It's okay to have some, but you want it kind of looking natural, so you get a little bit of that tall grass, you get a little bit of briars. Here, get some more. Side. And you want to make sure you're creating this barrier to make sure nothing can come around from any of the sides to dig your hole up. You want to make sure it has to come from the front, where that, and that's how you have set the pan, the trap. Alright, so I like that, and a little bit more dirt, and make sure this stuff doesn't blow away in the wind, especially if you're on an open field edge like we are right now. That wind will come across and sometimes blow your stuff away, so I like to cover it with a little bit of dirt to try and prevent that. This is the bait. I like to use just whatever you can kind of use to scoop it up. Put a little bit in there. Boom. And now, the final step, I like to clean up the area. But before I leave, you can see all this packed up mud I left behind. I like to go behind it, kind of scratch it all up. That way it looks a lot more natural, as if foxes have been digging here, and then you can see all of your footprints. I caught a fox here yesterday, so there's a little bit of blood. I can clean that up. Try and hide that. And that's how I set foothold traps.